Good day traders, Chartman here. Today we're looking at FDMF for October 25th, 2011. This is a daily chart. It goes back 6 months. We can see we had some higher trading up in this particular time period in June and July, trading around the 3-cent level as support. So if we take a support level, we can see we had a nice support in this area, briefly dipped below it. We didn't close below it, and then we had some resistance up here around 5 cents. And you can see we're just channeling sideways between this support and resistance area, and it's when we broke the support, we can see the stock had a big pullback. We came all the way down to 0032. So what we can see is basically if we take a red line at the resistance, we can start to plot our high points, and we get this downtrend line here that's basically pushing the prices lower. And in fact, what we could do is we could probably draw a perfectly parallel line right on top of it, and if we pulled it down to our lows, we could use it to estimate basically where our low points are going to be. So this is a perfect downward channel that we have here. Seems the stock does seem to move in sort of channel patterns, so this can give us a good idea of what we could see in terms of prices in the future. And as you can see, once we sort of have a few high points and some low points connected together, you can easily predict where the next high points and where the next low points are going to be. It's when we actually reverse and break out past the resistance line that the stock ends its downward trend and is beginning to reverse into an upwards trend. So we can also look at the time frames as well. This particular downtrend happened right at the beginning of August and ended right around early few weeks in October. So this is about a 2-month time period that we had a downward trend. So what we could suggest from this point is that the stock is going to be moving in a new direction for probably up to a little longer, could be a little shorter than maybe 2 months. So that's basically the time period we could probably be looking at. So what we can see is if we take a look at our low points, we can start to see an upward trend building here. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've connected with the support. That suggests we've got an upwards trend established, and the support line is going to serve to push the prices up higher. Now what we can also do is we can see where our resistance line is, or our last high point I should say, which is at 0079, and we can anticipate that we may be seeing a rising channel, although it's a little early to tell. If we were to draw a parallel line, I'm just drawing it down here so that you can see that they're basically parallel, and we took it up to our high points, we can see the next high point is probably sitting over a penny. So from 0068 or 006, which was the close, it could be an easy double from this point. And that's pretty much a given. If we see that tomorrow, if it takes several days, the longer it takes to hit this resistance line, the higher the resistance line is. And considering we're at a support level, it's probably a very low risk entry. You can also see on the this is our tricks, our momentum indicator. You can see for basically the entire down move, they're moving down, and as we started to approach a bottom, you can see that they start to close in and they cross over, and now they're heading back up, also confirming and suggesting that we are in an upwards trend. So where we have some resistance, we're going to see some resistance probably right around 0079, where we had our last high point in this uptrend. We could see some resistance up there, and we're probably going to see some pretty strong resistance right around 3 cents. This old support line is going to be a resistance in the future, and of course we have our old highs of around our 6-month highs, I should say, right around 5 cents. So keep those in mind, and thanks very much for watching. Remember, I'm not an investment advisor, so don't use this as any buy or sell recommendation. Thanks very much for watching. Happy trading. Until next time.